This is Robert Mardlacci, the Mindshare Learning Report, Canada's Learning and Technology e-magazine. And welcome to This Week in Canadian EdTech special PM Award winner Teacher Edition. And I'm here with Julie Arsenault, better known as Sci Geek Julie. And she won the Prime Minister Award along with her colleague Amanda Green for launching student innovation through STEM collaboration. Julie, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you're based in Edmonton. You're with the Edmonton Public School Board, and you are a middle school teacher at
I'm a junior.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I'm a junior high teacher at Michael Strambitsky School.
Amazing. So talk to me a little bit about your experience in receiving the Prime Minister's Award. What was that like? Paint a picture for us. How were you told?
Well, we were approached. So I received this with my colleague Amanda, as you mentioned, and we were approached by a couple of our own colleagues who we met through Twitter, of all things.
Amazing.
And who we've really admired over the years. And they told us that they wanted to nominate us for this. And they're two previous recipients themselves. And so we were shocked and honored, of course. I personally thought that was kind of where it was going to go. And I was riding high on that feeling that somebody thought what Amanda and I do was worthy of a nomination. And then we got an email that told us that we had actually received a regional certificate of achievement together. And I think I was in shock for about 2 days. I'm usually the weepy crying one, but that was Amanda, and I was just kind of stunned. But
amazing. Congratulations.
Honored.
What was it like in terms of your journey to, in terms of your growth mindset and your PLN? How important has that been, and who impacted you along the way, perhaps as a mentor?
Well, when I get asked about teachers who've inspired me, I always go back to my high school chemistry teacher, Dan Lescue. And he still to this day, after all of these years of education, he is still the best teacher I've ever had and that I've ever known. And I remember way back when I was in high school, a long time ago, I really now, especially looking back, realize how ahead of his time that he really was. He had us, really delving into the whole inquiry-based learning, not, just worksheets and cookie cutter labs. He had us building portfolios, and that always stuck with me. And he has been an incredible mentor and friend through my entire educational journey. But I'm also incredibly inspired by colleagues, and I love going to conferences like the ATA Science Council conference, which is where I met Amanda 10 years ago this year. And so we credit them a lot with our success because we never would have met if not for them. So, there's just far too many to name, but it's been wonderful to go on this journey.
And that community, the Twitter community, that's how I discovered you. So kudos to you for believing in it and staying with it despite some of the changes. I'm kind of mulling this one over, but it is such a powerful place to connect, and it's a PLN.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
And
I've met many.
So STEM is your wheelhouse. Talk to me about your immersion in STEM and how you're engaging kids these days.
Well, these days, I try to tidy up my classroom a little bit. It's a bit of a disaster area most of the time because I just like having stuff going on, and I like kids being, excited. We're currently upcycling a whole bunch of hydroponic gardens that had initially been built a few years ago. We've got plants being grown in simulated Mars dirt and simulated moon dirt. I've got indigenous sacred plants and medicinal plants growing in the room. Like, I'm just looking around, and it's fun. It's fun to try new things. And, as I've gotten a little older and a little more confident, I realize that it's important for the kids to see us delving into worlds that we're uncomfortable with too.
Right.
And I tell them all the time, I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to try it. And
Well, that's so impressive. I love the notion of that growth mindset and taking risks, and the fact that you're a more mature teacher, and it's never too late to embrace new technologies, and it really is about using the right tool at the right time, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is. Yep.
And so how are the kids responding to the, I guess, more project-based experiential learning? And by the way, I want to get some of those medicinal plants from you too. I could use a few, I'm sure, to help me as a baby boomer sustain healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, our kids are going to learn how to make salves and lotions and balms and things to help with different ailments. So that'll be fun when we do that. But the kids really love it. I think that, I know when I was growing up, and we hear this all the time, that students and people say, well, when will I ever use this?
Right.
When am I ever going to need to do this in the real world? And I got to say, I don't get that question a whole lot, because we're constantly applying learning to some kind of authentic task, some kind of authentic project, trying to solve a problem that kids have seen before. And it's really rewarding to see them get so engaged.
Right. And given where we've come from through the last couple of years with COVID, it's nice to get back to tactile learning and, challenge-based learning and working amongst teams, if you will.
Yes, it really is. Obviously, remote learning definitely threw everybody for a bit of a loop. We tried here. I just saw in some of my memories online popped up that I remember 2 years ago we put together, I think it was about 150 science in a bag kits to send home with kids, because we just found out we were going to online learning for a month. And I just said, I can't teach science through a screen without something. So we put together kits for every student so they could do some science at home, and we tried, but this is definitely better.
Well, kudos to you for taking that initiative. And I was talking to some of the STEM companies about, and I'm going to share your website if it's okay, because you've got a pretty cool website, and good for you that you've got that available and you've got resources that you share. How important is that when it comes to mentorship and you have a student teacher that's with you today?
Well, I always say I wouldn't be where I am if it hadn't been for the people who have helped me. So I try to pay it forward as much as I can. I will never forget my very first, you see my wordle and my nerdle. I will never forget my very first teaching job. And I was hired on very short notice to teach curricula that I had never taught before, a grade level I had not ever taught before. And I will remember forever my colleague Bill Bagshaw coming in, putting a binder on my desk and just saying, take what you need. And that was such a selfless, helpful, meaningful gesture. And I have never forgotten that to this day. And so that's why, I do create resources. And if they can help somebody else, then that's great. It's not about, self-promotion or whatever. It's just, I know how hard it's been sometimes. And if I can help somebody who's just starting out or thrown into a new situation, then I'm happy to do that.
Fantastic. Well, wonderful advice. And the kids, what are some of the careers that they're now thinking about, given their exposure to STEM and all these amazing tools?
It's pretty cool, because in junior high in Alberta here, they go to junior high until grade 9, and then they go into high school. So typically by the end of grade 9, they may or may not really know where they're going, but it's been really lovely to have students send messages years later and say, I'm going to university and I'm in engineering now. And I think that's really cool because we did some coding in your classes and I loved that. Or even the kids who say, I'm going to be a teacher. I want to be a science teacher. And that just warms my heart. So I've even just found out very recently that one of my former students who I used to tease all the time about his video gaming, he is now has a scholarship to an e-game program at a college.
How crazy is that?
Like, that's amazing to me. So it's lovely to see all of the different things that kids can do and to really show them that, you know, there's no limit. There's no limit. We don't even know what jobs are going to be available in 5 years. So, you know, explore all your options.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in a co-working space in a shopping mall, and so one of the new guests here, he did data engineering analytics at the London School of Economics. He graduated locally, and now he works for the NFL.
Oh, nice. Absolutely.
And his role is to protect player safety. So his role is player safety. And I just wanted to share this other picture here of you and your colleague. That's such a great shot. I couldn't resist.
That was at the science conference, the ATA Science Council conference.
Is that where they presented you with the certificate?
No, they just mailed them to us. And
okay.
So Amanda and I, we got them in the mail. We got the envelopes, and we just decided we wanted to open them together. And the conference was coming up, and that's where we had met. So we just decided to bring, the envelopes were still sealed and everything. We hadn't opened them, and we went there and we opened them together, and there was a little bit.
What a backdrop! What a backdrop! You could take a screenshot of this if you like.
Oh, Banff is pretty beautiful. Yeah. Oh, I will take a little.
Yeah, take a little screenshot of that before I stop sharing, and let you get back to class because you have to teach.
I do. The kids, the bell's gonna ring. Oh, there's the bell.
That means everything. Well,
there we go.
Julie, thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's such an honor to speak with you today, and so inspiring. That was Julie Arsenault, Prime Minister Award recipient, educator at the Edmonton District School Board. My name is Robert Merdlanche, the MindShare Learning Report. Be sure to check out www.mindshare.learning to get your latest issue. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep.